Hey Gold Rush fans, episode 15 is coming this Friday and it's going to be epic, so let's talk about it. Welcome back everybody to Gold Rush Minute. If you're new to the channel or a subscriber, I'm Gold Rush Minute, where I break down the most recent episode of Gold Rush and all the spin-offs. We talk about the miners and go over past episodes of the series. So let's start with Fred and his band of misfits. So Fred was off last week, and to be honest, I really didn't miss him. Fred and his crew, they're working away on that freedom cut, and surprisingly, it's been some great gold. Last time we saw them, they ran 2,100 yards and got 15.5 ounces of gold. So that's all in the past now, so let's talk about what's going to happen. At the end of episode 14, Discovery Channel, they gave us a nice little sneak peek into the upcoming episodes, and from what I've seen, Fred's going to have some major problems. In one of the scenes, it shows us his equipment starting on fire, while his stepson is in it. We all know his equipment is garbage and it needs to be hauled away and parted off. This just might be the wake-up call that Fred needs to realize that he needs either new equipment or just give up. A miner that we haven't seen since Fred was last in Oregon makes his way up to his Alaskan mine site, and he doesn't seem to be too happy about it either. With having an old crew member come back, does this mean that another crew member has left? I hope it wasn't Buzz. To me, Buzz is the heart of the operation. So let's talk about the gold now. As of right now, Fred and Team Misfits, they're sitting just over 52 ounces of gold. Their goal of 500 ounces, like I said a number of times, it's out of reach and they need a new goal. Fred is hard-headed and I like his grit that he has, but there is reality and then there's fantasy. Fred and his crew, they should be able to mine a minimum of 20 ounces of gold. They may even push 30, but I feel that may be a little bit too generous. Hey everybody, just want to take a moment and thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. And if you haven't, it only takes a moment and it's free to do. Next up is the Clayton brothers. But first and foremost, I have to give a massive shout out to probably one of the best miners that we've seen this season, and that's Warren. This man single-handedly ran the Clayton operation for 4 days by himself and was able to pull in 20 ounces of gold. So the Claytons are working the gauntlet cut now, and it's producing some great gold. They're literally inching their way towards golden acres, and each day that passes, their chances are dwindling down of ever reaching golden acres this season. At the end of episode 14, we've seen a nice little insight into the Claytons operation. It looks like they're also going to have some breakdowns this season coming up. Hopefully nothing that derails them for too long. They're still mining week to week, and I would assume that they can't afford any huge breakdowns nor downtime. The Claytons are sitting at 58 ounces of gold after last week's gold weigh, and if they're shown this week, they'll have another great week of mining, getting right around 30 ounces of gold. And after that big gold haul, they'll finally make it to golden acres in either episode 16 or 17. Next up is Parker. So a lot of questions are going on after Dave Turn's mechanic posted that he'll be joining the main show of Gold Rush coming up this Friday. So is he leaving Dave and joining Parker, or is he a secret weapon that will help Parker out up in Alaska? We'll have to wait and find out. Last week Parker was absent from the show, except for about 2 minutes, leaving Tyson in charge of the Yukon operation. And to say the least, Tyson hit a home run. I seriously hope that Parker is treating him right. I would hate to see him leave like Brennan did and went to work for Rick Ness. So this episode coming up is going to be all about his Alaskan operation, and from the teaser at the end of episode 14, it looks like he has some issues. So Parker stated that he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars into that hole, and it looks like, in my opinion, that there isn't any gold. We did see 3 specks of gold in that pan that he cleaned up, and to me, that's not worth running. So we did see Dave Turn at the end of saying that he is back and he's ready to mine. So this is making me think that Team Parker and Team Turn, they're going to team up for a little partnership. So this could possibly be a first in Gold Rush history, having a crossover event. So if you ever seen like CSI or any other crime shows, they do what's called a crossover event, where they have the main show and a spin-off do a show together. It makes for good ratings and it's kind of a 2-for-1. So let's talk about the gold. So this week, there's not going to be a gold reveal for Parker's Alaskan operation. They may have one for his Yukon operation, but that's highly unlikely. Last up is Tony. So Tony had some cameo appearances last episode, helping the Winchester boys out. Remember, this is how he got started on Gold Rush, being an advisor for some of the miners. At the end of episode 14, there were a few key moments that stood out to me. First one, Tony had his trommel up in the air. Not for sure if that's his old one or possibly a new one. He did say it's time for a change. Tony is seen using a monitor on his claim. Remember, this is an old-timer's method used to break down the gold-bearing pay dirt with high pressure and water. This is time tested and it's proven to work. I wonder if desperate times call for desperate measures. Finally, the third moment. So this is probably the most important one. The Beats family are doing a gold weigh and they have a pan full of gold. Judging from Tony's expressions, this is an epic gold weigh. We might have to wait to see that gold weigh for a while. Might be towards the end of the season. So let's talk about the gold for this upcoming episode of Gold Rush. The Beats crew, they're going to mine right around 300 ounces of gold, getting them closer to that 5,000 ounce mark. There you have it, Gold Rush fans. If you like the content and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. It's free to do and I greatly appreciate it. Till the next time.